to look at these live links. This was a few minutes ago. Nga bwolaba wano ku mukutu ogwa Facebook. Ku Twitter, the same thing. Bugendayo, era ojja kubeera nga otulaba bulungi nnyo byetu kyo kiri wano. Moses Grace Balyeku alina ekifaananyi kye yatadde wano honorable agamba ki ku Twitter. Chief Executive Officer Baba Media Group Moses Grace Balyeku agamba ki wano taddeko ekifaananyi kya General Muhoozi Kainerugaba era gwakutte mu ngalo agamba humility at its best. Thank you so much General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, the next president of Uganda. You are a true servant of God. Oh. Biri ku mutimbagano ojja kujja wano birenga naawe obyesomerako naye nga Moses Grace Balyeku agambye mbu General Muhoozi president wa Uganda addako true servant of God era mulagano nga alina gwakutte mu ngalo. Okay, genda ojja kubeera ng'obyerabirako buterevu nnyo. But tugende mu mawulire tulabe ebiriyo kugali ku mitimbagano. Tandike ne Soft Power News, www.softpowernews.ug. Museveni cautions youth against wrong ideology, working for foreign interests. Museveni, president wa Uganda, alabudde abavubuka n'agamulekeraawo okubeera nga mukola bamuserving interests z'abazungu. Okay, 160 Ugandans graduate from Kigumba Petroleum Institute muyogeyoge. Bakulaze wano omuddusi Cheptegei uyo akulaga engeri gye yaguddemu emisinde mu ggwanga erya Hungary okufuuka omulundi ogwokusatu okufuuka omuntu owokuna mu nsi yonna okukola ekyo. Bali wano bamukulaze wano bakugambye Betty Amongi appoints Patrick Ayota as NSSF MD. Yoga Patrick Ayota. I hope we shall have you one of these days kumukutu guno, now that you are fully in charge of NSSF.
Who becomes the deputy? Now
that is the that's the question we should be asking. He has been in serving rather acting capacity. Naye kati ye bamutongoza. Just be sure of wabadde mu acting capacity nga executive director, wabaddewo deputy.
No.
So I think we don't have a deputy as of yet.
Where does that leave Byangaba, who has run to court to ask court to prevail over the minister and the appointing authority to sign his appointment? He was appointed.
But don't you think Mr. Byarugaba is fighting a losing battle?
Why say so? Don't you have faith in the law, the legal process? Or you think he has no claim?
No, I think he could be having, very solid reasons. But I think he has tried enough.
Yeah, because we for us in Runyankore we say tukahiga ensolo yayita tukagiyita. So libo aba yayiga ensolo ye ayina nga n'agitta toyinza gimuggyako. But I also think he is fighting a legal battle, a losing battle. But to the contrary, statesmen build laws. Maybe there is a case he wants to put right and set a precedent which may not help him, but help those who will come after him.
Omanye ekintu ekiri tricky mu nsonga eno sa Simon. Byarugaba yabadde yakaddukira mu court. Because this man has been pending ng'ali wano mu acting capacity for a long time. Wayagereze mu court ng'awaabira Minister Amongi. Minister nga kankulageko onabadde mu acting capacity. Sebo kati nkutongozza. You are now fully in charge. Zaabike.
I think the mistake Mr. Byarugaba has made is he has never known who he is fighting with or who he's fighting for. Is Byarugaba really dying to save we are the savers, the NSF savers? Is it about too much love for the savers that he really believes that without him we would lose a lot? Or is it about him, the individual, getting another term at a place he has worked and made history as the longest serving among those who have served before him? Or is it a battle of who holds what powers? Because the minister has tried as much as possible to demonstrate that she as a minister is the overall supervisor and can make decisions to guide and run the fund. To the contrary, Byarugaba wants to prove to us that the minister is overly out of order, that there is a personal grudge, vendetta to settle, that he is the only one who can manage NSSF, that, and without him, there is a lot of jeopardy, which is not true. So, whereas I would not agree with the harassment and the embarrassment with which he's being sent out of NSSF, given his contribution, I also don't agree with him overstating his importance, over imagining that it starts with him and it must end with him. There are many times we have left jobs, and I remember one of my former employers told me that if you must leave a job, you leave it at its sweetest. If you must quit a company, don't wait for a time when everyone says, the way we see, when you leave at that, you have made no news at your strongest point.
Okay.
When the company needs you most.
Is when you leave.
That's when.
Did you say he did know the person or the people he's fighting with?
Yes, he's looking at...
Is there a possibility that we could be having so many other powerful people behind Amongi?
So I think. Where would Amongi get all this power, my brother? Seriously, as a journalist, analyze and say, where, if it was not an invisible force, where would a minister get powers to refuse an order from the Prime Minister, when you know that the Prime Minister makes orders sometimes on behalf of the President? But Amongi overruled both Museveni and
the Prime Minister.
And the Prime Minister to kick out Byarugaba.
Who is more powerful than the President and the Prime Minister in this country?
Yeah, it may not be about powerful. There is someone very powerful here, by the way. If you went to Gulu there, yeah, there is somebody powerful.
What is in Gulu? Where Mr. Norbert Mao comes from? Yeah, well, I know Mr. Norbert Mao. I know this guy, the former chairperson of the district, now is in Parliament. Mapenduzi. Who else is there?
In Gulu.
Gulu?
You don't know who is in Gulu?
Gulu?
Gulu, yes.
Gulu is in northern Uganda, yes. Who is there? There is this man who at some point was in Rwenzururu.
Who?
He went to Bulemezi.
So, when you go to Gulu, there is a man who may not look very powerful, yet he is very influential, that he can even overrule the big brother. Because the big brother trusts him a lot, so he will accept and say, okay, what I had appointed, I trust your information.
Could there be a possibility that Byarugaba stepped on some people's feet, or perhaps there was a disagreement between him and the powers that be?
Definitely, in such a position, you step on many people's toes. Banji bolinya ku kagere. Bobo okuli ekitabu ky'abakozi ekirina obutuse bwa Uganda 17. Nga n'olusi gavumenti eddukirayo okwewulayo ensimbi. Naye nga gw'okikola, imagine okwanga gw'okulira ekitongole. Gavumenti gy'edduka ne gyegera nga nti bane mutuyambe tufa. Mutuwoleeyo obusatu tunazza. Nga government comes to you.
Gwalina okusembayo, sigikyayo yesembayo, gwasalawo.
Okitegedde, gavumenti enamba nga bw'eba eremereddwa nga bigiremye, gwe gwenoonya okusaba obuyambi. Bw'oba toli mutendeke bulungi, you may overstate your importance. You may get drunk with power, and you know that power corrupts. Excess power, absolute power corrupts absolutely. So somehow I believe that it's too much powers. Imagine 17 trillion shillings live under the cover of your pen.
Yeah.
You understand? You have these investments, you have the other investments, you see everybody's running after you, or media houses running after you for advertisements, ministers are running to you to save their ministries, the president gives you a call that please help Minister of Finance with some 3 million, we shall see what to do. And then if you are not well mannered, you may think that your manhood weighs abnormally more than it does. Yet to remain the equal size, equal weight, equal height, equal type.
Big Bitya, in your view, based on what has happened so far?
Never I have learned in my journey that when you live with a woman boss, a woman supervisor, a woman head, you must read a different book to live with them. Because the common book does not contain those pages that will help you to survive well. If you live with a male boss, yeah, it's easier. Colleague, it's easier. You read few pages, go to university, come and deal with male bosses. But if your boss is a female, if you're working under a woman manager, a woman speaker, a woman minister, a woman director, a woman CEO, you need to read another book to be able to work well. Now, the mistake that Mr. Byarugaba is making is to expose a physical, a rather psychological flex of the muscles between him and
the minister.
Because the minister is a woman, mothered by appearance, the public tends to think that the woman is fighting for the children. And they will side with her more than they would side with Byarugaba. So the image that Byarugaba is a gold digger. He's trying to dig gold out of NSSF. But Bambi Mama is doing all it's possible. Bambi Amongi is doing all that it takes. Bambi, the woman is too kind. The woman is mindful about our welfare. Bambi, the woman is for savers. Amongi is for us. Amongi is for the country. Amongi is not a gold digger. Amongi is not corrupt. Amongi is not selfish. Amongi is not fighting Byarugaba for any reason. She's only fighting Bambi to save the good of the savers, to save our money, to allow the NSSF grow, to allow the NSSF bring in more money, to allow many people use the NSSF money to invest and grow the economy. That is the image that the public receives among you. Now, on the contrary, they look at a man who has spent 10 years with a lot of grip on the fund, a man who seems not to want to leave, a man who has created an impression that this thing starts with him and ends with him, that is the first and the last. A man who forgets that even in his own coming, some people cried the way he came in. He forgot that, that's a good thing with the pain. He forgets that when he was coming in and the government was standing for him and the appointing authority was compromising many things to have him here, there are people who cried. It is simply his time to shed the tear. Let him shed it with courage.
Kale, fubona tubagaliza birungi birayota tukuyoza tukwagaliza success ku mulimu gwompya nga MD wa NSSF ne mwami Byarugaba nawe tukwagaliza buwanguzi mu kooti yewaddukidde biri wano mu soft power news tugendako ku Plus News www.plusnews.ug bayina wano mbozi gye bataddewo already yawangudde prestigious broadcast awards kale namo muyoge
Radio 4.
Radio 4 wins 2.
I welcome them. I congratulate them first of all. And I want to state clearly without fear of contradiction that Radio 4 has been steadily growing.
Wow.
Having come later, but competed with Bakasa Ngwawo. That today when you mention 5 top radios in Kampala, even outside here, you will mention Radio 4 because of its class. When you have been to their studios, you know how class the studios look like.
Yeah, these are the studios of Radio 4. Looking pretty beautiful.
Now imagine, those are studios, a radio station. And that's a new first, you call it facelift.
Yes.
It's a new rebranding.
Yes.
It's been it has been looking different with black, yellow, red. So their studio and the acumen of the owner, because Baram Barugahara, who owns the radio station, I think is a businessman of some respect, some stature. He may confuse it with a lot of politics where he pretends to be too humble and then too poor and down to earth, but this is a billionaire. We are talking about an employer of more than 100 people, a man running a multi-billion dollar enterprise here and even outside here. So he is given Radio 4 the attention and courage it needed to fight on and fit itself in the so-called radio giants in the radio industry in Kampala and in the country. And for that, I think the two awards are very deserving and we congratulate them.
Wow. Thank you. Muyoge bannaffe aba Radio 4. Ogambye first of all bayozaayoza.
Yes.
Ekirala kibadde ki? Second.
Mbaagaliza okutambula obulungi. But I congratulate them and wish them to move.
Amina, webale nnyo. Aba Radio 4 mwebale nnyo. They were able to win those two prestigious broadcast awards. Mweyongera okukola ffe tubeereyo nga tubawuliriza bwe tuyongereyo wano mu 7 okay ensonga tugimaze badde mu Plus News. Ayota bamwogeddeko era Patrick Ayota named new NSSF Managing Director Mbozi Weeryawo for holding an unlawful gathering in Teso. Mabirizi, drugs speak among and Mohos to court.
Mita ina byakola. You know. Talina byakola.
Mabirizi addukidde mu kooti ayagala President wo Sir Simon Myanga Lutaaya ne Speaker wa Parliament banyonyole lwaki bakubye enkuŋŋaana quote and quote ezitali mu mateeka.
Abaganda bagamba nti bwe bakutenda okomaga n'omusambya kigedde kubanga ne bw'otambula otera tosukka w'osula. You must be, I believe, I don't know, Mr. Mabirizi is in one way or the other trying to make himself, what should I call it?
Uno gwoyogerako yabadde agenze mu kooti ekumi. He had to board from Kampala to go to Kumi, as you can see.
About? At first I really believed in him. And at times I believe that there is need to correct some things. If some things go wrong, there is need to leave a record of correcting such, even if you remain alone. But again, too much of anything is what?
Bad.
The other day he sued the president for driving himself. You remember?
Yes.
How did that case end?
Lwaki president yevuga?
Because the judges are fed up. They just ignore what do you keep doing. The other day I heard he was battling Bujingo and his new relationships. Simanyi Susan. You know, sir, let me tell you. And I kept wondering, I said, do you think law can be used to force a man to sleep with a woman he doesn't love?
It can't.
It just can't. When I say it is over, it is over. You can bring every other part of the law, but that will only be dealing with how we share property and maybe how we relate in the future. But I have denied.
You've already moved on.
You are no longer sweet to me. Go. And I'm not alone. I'm not the only maker. Go find another person. Me,
to do the making.
Yeah, to do the making. Maybe you are not sweet. Look for anybody else who praises you. But I saw how Mabirizi stuck to the issue of Bujingo. Then the other day he sued who?
He has sued almost everybody. Sued
Kyagulanyi. Yesterday I saw actually a statement of Simanyi UNEB writing to him to tell him that they cannot give him Kyagulanyi's sequence of Kyagulanyi's answer sheets. For heaven's sake.
He wants answer sheets?
Yes. But he wants to prove that Bobi Wine did the exams for O and A level. For heaven's sake, are we looking for papers? The country is simply looking for a leader to cause change. Whether that leader is a primary one dropout or the leader has never stepped at school, the country's focus is not on how many degrees Bobi Wine has, not on how good were they, whether they were first class or second class or anything, whether Bobi Wine stayed in school for the full coverage of the syllabus, or even the school time, or anything. The country is simply looking for an able leader, a pro-people leader, one who is determined to cause change in the country. And to them, their best is Bobi Wine. And the efforts of this kind of nonsensical effort to battle him out, to make him look like worthless, nti Bobi Wine teyasoma olwokuba teyakola bibuuzo bichi. Why do we investigate whether... I don't even think in my house. I can look for my own answer sheets.
I think in our history we've not had a lawyer like him as a country. Have we had one?
He looked... No, we haven't. He looked like...
A serious person at
yes,
first.
But I am telling you, and I'm serious, he's beginning to look like a jobless person hunting this after the other. And he keeps asking for contributions from the public, but he has stepped on everybody. He fears no one. He has attacked himself. He has attacked everything.
The other day even sued his family members.
But he should be warned, like Tamale Munda has said, you don't just attack Bobi Wine over this. If the aim is to show the country that Bobi Wine is weak, that Bobi Wine is empty, that Bobi Wine is ill-prepared, that Bobi Wine never went to school, it cannot work. Ugandans have tested people with all those qualifications and found nothing. For that matter, to them, Bobi Wine has PhDs. Bobi Wine is the richest man. Bobi Wine is the best Ugandan. He's the most patriotic.
The wisest.
He's the wisest. He is the smartest. Tagambwako takolachi. That is their choice. Whatever you do day and night to frustrate him, you only fight with your own shadow.
Abale. Kale kuganga muka katono nnyo tujja ne Namwatulira tovaawo.
Agempapula n'emikutu muganga muka ku Baba TV. This is Hot Pick of the Day. Namwatulira muganga muka.
Kale Namwatulira the Hard Pick. Uganda bw'oba ng'otunuulidde